morning, Mr. Yuvidya and friends. Today we are from the group 5. We will discuss about the item of test in a language English skill, which is consistive definition itself and types of item test divided to be two, general and specific. So let's check now.
The definition of the item of text in language English skills. A test item is a specific test takers are asked to perform. Test item can assess one or more points or objectives, and the actual item itself might take on different constellations depending on the contents. For example, an item may the 1 points understanding of a given vocabulary words, several points, the ability to obtain fact from a passages and then make inferences based on the facts. Likewise, a given objective may the text is by series of items. For example, there could be 5 items, all testing one grammatical point. Text question, item of a similar kind of also big groups together to form subtext. Within a given text, the language skills that we text include the more receptive skill on continuums, listening and reading, and the more productive skill, speaking and writing. There are of course other language skill that cross-cut these 4 skills, such as of vocabulary, assessing vocabulary will most like refer to the culture action cross the 4th skill with assessment of vocabulary in listening and the reading favor covering the broader range depth assessment of vocabulary speaking writing. We can also assess non-verbal skill such as gesturing, and this can be both receptive, interpreting, and someone else the gesture and the productives, making one's own the gesture.
There are 5 types of testing in language skill. The first is placement tests are administered in order to make decisions about where a student should be placed within a language instructional program. In most cases, language learners with similar language abilities should be grouped together. The instructor can then work with individuals who are at approximately the same level of development in language skill can help them strengthen the skill. The second is diagnostic tests are prepared in order to discover the strength and weakness of language learner. This information is useful to language instructions in helping the trainers make improvement in their language skill. Next, achievement tests are administered in order to provide some indication of whether the instructional goals are being met. Achievement tests are based directly on the instructional content of the course. As mentioned earlier, the objective of the instructional program and the objective of the testing should be in harmony with each other, thus leading to beneficial backwards. proficiency tests provide an opportunity to test the language skill of the learners when the testing objectives are tied not to the instructional objectives, but to abilities in a language regardless of any specific interaction in it. And the last, aptitude test seek to provide some indication of an individual ability to learn a language. Aptitude tests are used as a screening device to exclude some individual from language study or as an initial placement test, thus allowing a language program to group learners scoring high or low on the aptitude test in spared classes. But caution should be used when administering an aptitude test. Some factors such as language learning strategies, attitude, motivation, and personality factor may not be mentioned in aptitude test. Because of this shortcoming, Peace Corps doesn't use language aptitude test.
Hello, good evening, Miss. Good evening, friends. Now, I'm Nurfiana Devantri Tamoina. Like to explain the conclusion of our material about the test item of each language skills. The conclusion of our material are a test item can assess one or more points. Okay, and we had exposed was not perfect, so we are looking forward to criticism and advice from our friends who are constructive for perfection in another paper. We hope it will be helpful to writers in particular as well as to readers in general. Thank you very much. That's all my explain. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your attention. We do apologize any wrong words that you heard before. We already know about this material. In this material, we discuss about test item of each language skill, those related with several skills such as listening, speaking, reading, and writing.